Hi everybody, it's Stephanie. Today I'm going to show you how to take an ordinary cake mix like this and make it into a high quality bakery style cake. I think you're gonna like this one. Let's get started. We're going to start by preheating the oven to 325 degrees, and then we need to prepare the pans. The pans are like our professional quality with a straight side, and I will put the link to these in the description box. I like these so much better than the Wilton brand that you get at the craft store. Okay, so we're going to need two 8-inch pans for this recipe. I like to spray the sides of the pans with cooking spray with flour, and then I line the bottoms of the pans with a parchment paper circle. Okay, the pans are all ready to go now. Let's talk about the cake mix. I like using the Betty Crocker brand, but I've also had success with the Duncan Hines mix as well. This is a 16.25 ounce, and if you look at the back of the box, you'll see a list of ingredients and instructions. You are not going to need those, so you can go ahead and get rid of that box. The other dry ingredients needed are salt, sugar, and flour. Remember, when you measure flour, you do not want to scoop it into the measuring cup. The best way to measure flour is to fluff it up with a fork and then gently spoon it into a heaping pile into the measuring cup, and then use a knife to level off the top. We are also going to need milk, melted butter, almond and vanilla extract, sour cream, and 3 large eggs. All the ingredients need to be at room temperature. I almost always forget to set the eggs out to come down to room temperature, so if you're forgetful like me, you can easily bring the eggs down to room temperature by placing them in a bowl of warm water for 5 minutes. That is it. It makes it so much easier and faster. Mixing up this batter is super simple. Just put all the dry ingredients in a mixer and get those all combined. Sometimes cake mixes have little lumps in it, so you want to make sure you get all those out. Next, add all the wet ingredients and mix on low until combined. You want to mix those until you don't see any more yellow streaks from the egg, but be sure to not overmix. Pour the batter equally into 2 8-inch pans. I like to weigh the pans to make sure they're even. I also added bake-even strips to the outside of the pans. I thought for sure it would make a huge difference, but after testing it without the strips, turns out there wasn't a huge difference for this recipe, so adding the strips is an optional step. Pop these into the oven for around 15 minutes or so. They are ready when you insert a toothpick into the center and it comes out clean. Pull them out of the oven and then let them cool in the pan for a few minutes. Run a knife around the edges and then turn them out onto a wire rack to continue cooling. I typically make my cakes in advance, so to keep them super fresh, I wrap them up in plastic wrap while they're still slightly warm, and then I pop them into the freezer. You can also wrap it up in a layer of foil on top of the plastic wrap if it's going to be in the freezer for a while. To thaw them, I just let them sit out on the countertop while they're still wrapped up in the plastic wrap. Okay, my cakes are thawed out, and I'm going to prepare them by running my knife through the center to tort it. I thought about cutting the top off, but it's already so flat, so I left it as is. This is the extra delicious part. So I'm filling this cake with 2 layers of raspberry filling and a layer of mascarpone whipped cream in the middle. I definitely recommend doing a buttercream dam to hold in the fillings and a layer of buttercream under the raspberry filling to keep it from soaking through the cake. And all these recipes can be found in the description box if you need them. And also the outer layer of buttercream is my hybrid buttercream that I added a tablespoon of lemon extract to. It was so good. Once my buttercream is all smoothed out, I'm adding a classic shell border around the top of the cake. And because this cake is for me, I'm gonna go ahead and add some chocolate controllers. I think this cake looks like something you would get at a more fancy grocery store like Whole Foods. What do you all think? It looks so beautiful on the outside, and the inside tastes delicious too. If you need the raspberry filling recipe, I will put a link for you right here. Also, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any ideas for me, please let me know in the comment section. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.